The SAT is full of algebra, and it's important to know when to give in to the variables and solve algebraically. But for the most part, we want to turn every single algebra problem we can into an arithmetic problem. When you think about it, we don't think in terms of variables. We don't go out to dinner and say, hey, you ate like a pig, so you owe 2x, and I ate like a bird, so I owe 1/2 x. We think in terms of numbers. So repeat the mantra, plug in. Are you in doubt? Plug in. Are you stuck? Chances are you can get unstuck by plugging in. There are 3 types of plug-in problems scattered throughout the SAT. And because they're scattered throughout the SAT, it's important to know how to recognize them. So we're dealing with our first type of plug-in problem. We're going to call it the basic plug-in. Take a look at the basic plug-in problems. What do they all have in common in the answer choices? You'll see, scattered throughout all the answer choices, there are variables. Variables in the answer choices means plug-in. So let's take a look at a basic plug-in problem that I know you could very simply solve algebraically, but to understand the concept of plugging in, we're going to use this simple problem. Vicky has cut hair 6 years less than twice as long as Jane has. If Jane has cut hair for m years, then of the following expressions, which represents the number of years that Vicky has cut hair? Look at your answer choices, see your variables, and think, great, I get to plug in. Now, there are 2 unknowns. We have the unknown of the amount of time Vicky has cut hair, and we don't know how long Jane has cut hair. And they're obviously dependent upon each other. The unknown you want to plug in for first is the one that gets the most action or the one that others are dependent upon. So that would be Jane. M represents Jane, so why don't we say Jane has cut hair for 4 years? So you would want to write down on your test booklet m equals 4. From there, it says that Vicky has cut hair 6 years less than twice as long as Jane has. So Jane's cut hair for 4 years. 2 times 4 is 8, but Vicky's cut hair 6 years less than that, so 8 minus 6 is 2. Now, the question is asking us, how long has Vicky cut hair? We just figured out that Vicky's been cutting hair for 2 years. You want to put a box around the answer to the question, because now we're going to look for 2 arithmetically by plugging in the numbers we've used into the answer choices. A is m minus 6. Well, remember, we threw in 4, so 4 minus 6 is negative 2. That's not 2. And then you plug in for B, 4 plus 6, well, that's 10. That's not 2. You plug in for C, 2 times 4 plus 6. That's not 2. When we plug in for D, we have 2 times 4 minus 6, which gives us 2. Answer choice E, so we're plugging in the 4 for M, 6 minus 2 times 4, which is equal to negative 2. So the correct answer would be D.